Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin, Dubuc,
David, Nguyen.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys, we've got a really great friend, somebody who I've known for a long time, man, Barry Palmquist. Barry is part of the Click and Close team. He's actually he's our account executive, aka sales manager, aka jack of all trades. And Barry does a lot for us. So, we thought it was really important to bring him out here on the show. And welcome to the show, Barry. Glad to have you on, brother.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm great to be here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, one thing we always like to do is do a quick intro. Obviously, David and I know you very, very well, but we want to know a little bit about where you came from originally, how you landed here, and how you landed in the mortgage industry, brother. Talk about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the mortgage industry now. This is my 26th year.
Okay.
Originally was just kind of aimless and wasn't sure what to do, was bouncing around from job to job. College really wasn't for me, and I just wanted to get out there and start earning. And a buddy of mine said, hey, we need tellers at the bank. And I was like, why not? I'll be a bank teller. I can add. All right. So I applied for the teller job, and I interview, and they're like, you're not a bank teller. You're a banker.
There you go.
And I was like, does that mean more money? And they said, yeah, it does mean more money. And I was like, excellent, let's do it.
Who doesn't like money?
Exactly. And I got an opportunity to actually work in a pretty prestigious branch from the beginning in an area where there was a lot of, high dollar value.
Right.
And I started doing mortgages and things like that. And
where's this at?
Great experience.
So let's talk about that. Because
So
I know where you're from. But
Minneapolis, born and raised originally.
Salina?
Yeah, no, Minneapolis.
Or Kansas, I mean? No, not Kansas.
No, not
Minneapolis,
Kansas.
where?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
Sorry. I'm like, no, not Salina.
You're a northerner.
I'm a lither slow, but I'll get there.
You're a northerner.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Very cool, man.
Yeah, I get that a lot down here. Everybody's like, oh, you're from up there. Yeah, I am. Thank you. So was there till 99, 2000.
Probably hate the Vikings.
I love the Vikings.
Oh
man. Just for you, I didn't wear my Viking shirt today. So.
My man, we appreciate it.
But so I came down to Texas in 99, 2000, was actually going to get out of the mortgage industry and just decided, you know what, this is what I do. This is what I love. And I found some opportunities, and I've been in the DFW market ever since.
Well, what's funny is you and I have talked about this before, but 99, 2000, you came down here.
Yep.
99 exactly, in the next day 2000, I came down here, right?
Yep.
So we both landed in the Dallas-Fort Worth marketplace 23 years ago at almost the exact same time.
Almost the exact time, yeah.
Which is pretty wild, man. And we also, at some point in time, kind of found ourselves at the same company, right?
Same building.
Same building, yeah. But what was strange about that was before we worked together, you worked for the competition.
I did.
Out of the same office.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about that, man. So where'd you work when you first got in the industry here in the DFW?
I worked for Union Street Mortgage at that time, where we were in the same building. Before that, I was Community Credit Union, which is now like Prosperity Bank.
Right.
But I was at Union Trust, which became Union Street.
That's right.
And I tell you what, if you can put 2 or 3 years in there, you can work just about anywhere.
There are calls in the queue.
Oh my God. We had the same phone system, Fred, this red alert would go off and calls holding in the queue.
And you'd be on a call and you didn't have the ability to pick up and they're coming out. He's coming out there yelling at you
and cussing at you. And
what was his name? Oh, wait, we should probably not mention that.
No, you know what? He's a good guy. I've known him. But Mike Harrell, great guy.
That's right.
But he was a hard driver for sure.
They kind of teased. They said he looked like Ralph Lauren.
Yes, very much so. He had the whitest of white mullets you'd ever seen. And he always had this nice pressed button-down shirt, khaki pants, loafers. Yeah, no, he looked just like Ralph Lauren.
I heard it, and I was like, he does look like
And
Ralph
he was
Lauren.
in the garment industry before he was in the mortgage industry. So it makes
it
makes a lot of sense.
So you go to work for Mike. You're at Union Street, and we were actually, it was Union Street, but it was kind of, there was another Advantage Investors, Investors Mortgage.
Yeah, so we were correspondent lenders. Yeah,
that's it. That's exactly right. Which I was at Advantage Investor Mortgage, but I had a different manager. But we were still in the same building.
Yes,
right?
correct. And then
but you guys move out.
We move out. And you guys eventually moved out.
We did.
And
yeah, we did. Off the tollway, right around the corner from here.
Yep. Yeah. And so I was one of their team lead floor managers. And one of the boss's sons came in one day and he pulls everybody off the floor and he says, we need to have a meeting. So we go in a meeting, and he looks at me, he goes, I don't like your attitude. You're terrible. You're horrible. Get out of here.
Wow.
And I was like, man, okay. I didn't know what to do. I'd never had anybody talk to me that. So I leave, and he calls me. He goes, hey, man, look, that was just for effect. I was like, I'm never coming back in there ever again. And I made a call to.
Where'd you go?
I came right over to Dallas
Home Loans.
I interviewed and started the next day.
That's right. I remember. And that was right here off the tollway.
Yep.
And that's where you and I really got introduced because we worked together, but I'd actually come to that building right after you guys had left. You guys moved out, and I moved in because I was on the side you guys were on with the green carpet. I'm sure you remember. And the green leather couch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So we get out, and you come to work with us at Dallas Home Loans.
Yep.
And we actually had a guest on, David, a couple of weeks ago, David Thompson,
yes,
who also
Insurance.
worked at Dallas Home Loans, right? And strange
my
as it
boy.
is, I don't know if you realize this, he started in bank telling as
Yes,
well.
he did.
He
Yeah.
started as a bank teller, and eventually, now he's insurance. He's not in mortgage, but
Yeah, he's my go-to insurance guy, man. I love David.
he's a great guy. He's a great guy. So, you come work for us at Dallas Home Loans, and I remember, because I was managing a team,
You were,
and you were kind of independent. Right, you were back in the corner. It was like, hey, Barry's going to come in. He's not working on any team. He's out. He's going to work for himself. And then I left. Right.
Yeah,
I left, and then what happened? You
got a team.
got a team.
I
You got a
did.
team.
I got a team, and then you came back.
I came back, and when I came back, you and I worked together as sales managers, right?
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
ultimately, we kind of teamed up. And what we do with that place? Let's talk about that real quick,
man,
because
we
we can
blew it
toot our
up.
horns just a little bit,
We can,
right?
just a little
Take
bit.
those humble hats off. So when I came back, that business was doing. I think they closed 29 loans that month.
Yeah, it was
Right.
it was a rough month.
29 loans that month. And this is a business that had at one point in time been closing as many as 80, 85, right? And so I come back in, you and I team up,
Yep.
and we just reinvent the whole sales floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was like take it back to DNA and start with what you
That's
know.
it. Close it, get rid of the individuals that just weren't bought into the process, or the ones that were frustrated because of things that had happened
Oh, yeah.
over the years, and rebuild and reconstruct. And we did exactly that. And do you remember from 30 to 100? Remember how many months it took us to do that?
Boy,
I remember. So
you know what? You probably have a better memory than I do on that one. But
6
it wasn't-
months.
I was
6
God, I
months, and
gonna
it was
go for the
99.
six.
And it was 99, by the way. It wasn't quite
Yeah.
100 because the deal was we
remember
get to
that.
100, and there's a
Yeah.
trip that's going to happen. It was 99, and the trip happened anyway. So, but anyhow, so you and I ran that thing together for a long time. It was up until the market changed, right? Because
Yeah.
we were subprime.
2010.
We transitioned together with the government stuff. We actually got the DE underwriter in house,
Yeah,
and
you get the
we transitioned
the
into
full
being
eagle,
got our full eagle, and we're able to underwrite loans in house, close loans in house, right? And so the only thing we weren't doing was the servicing, right? We were selling those off, and
No, we were smart.
That's
I mean,
it.
you were smart. I mean, that was one
Yeah.
of the best things that we did was transitioning away from subprime to FHA. And when we pulled that FHA piece in, it saved a lot of people.
Well, there were a lot of other lenders going out of business.
Yes,
Yeah, people
100%.
were falling off. And I think what happened to us, it was subprime gone today, right?
Yeah.
Gone today. You should have had a jacket pop on right there.
That was another show, Devin.
That was another show. I was trying to do it again, man. I lost my touch. So gone today, and then we said, hey, you know what? Our production's going to fall a little bit here, but because we got that DE, we transitioned our marketing, and we fell for about 2 months.
Yeah.
And then turned back around, and then we're back to almost the same business that we were doing before.
Six-digit fundings.
Yeah. And then the real crash hit.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Nobody knew what to lend.
No,
right.
I mean, it
08,
was
09.
Quotameter couldn't put lenders up fast enough on that
That's
website.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's where you and I parted ways for a while.
Yeah, we did. I diverged off a little bit differently, and
did.
I got out of correspondent and branch
That's right.
lending, and I went into if they build it, they will come, and I just built big call centers for
You did.
companies for
Throw
quite
some
a
of those
few
names
years.
out there.
So MetLife, when they still had a mortgage company, that was one of the first ones I
That
went
was
there.
what was their sponsor? Was it wasn't it
was
Woodstock?
Snoopy.
It was
Yeah, man,
Woodstock and
Snoopy.
Snoopy. Yeah.
Well, that was actually my top funder trophy every month was a glass Snoopy.
That's pretty cool, man.
So I love that. I love giving that
I
thing. I
love
came in this
peanuts, yeah,
box
who
and it
doesn't?
had like this velvet inside of it. It was great.
That's pretty cool.
But,
man.
yeah,
So
so
MetLife, so you blew that call center
MetLife,
up
we
for a
blew that
while.
up. We
Yep.
took it from 7 to 50 people.
Yep.
And then they decided they didn't want to own a bank anymore and didn't want to do mortgages because of all of the impending regulation of being an insurance company that already deals with regulations.
Yep.
They got out of it.
They did.
And so I left and went to a company called Homeward Residential, which and I built their call center from scratch.
Yeah.
I spent 6 months building that call center before we did our first loan.
Yep.
And then Aquin came in and bought us, and it became the Aquin deal. And
Awkward.
What's funny
awkward.
is there was probably 3 or 4 different shops built over about a 6 or 8 year period that was our model. Pretty much just the DNA worked, and if there was nothing to fix, and it just tweaked it for whatever the model was. In that case, portfolio retention and things like that.
Exactly.
And there were call centers all over the place. We have people that work for us now that worked in that Aquin call center that we're still on my comp plan model to the day they closed.
We do. Yeah, 100%, 100%, which is awesome. So. And I think that's one of the great things. We talk about finding success in the industry. Sometimes the true success hits us later in our careers, but we're building it along the way, right? You know, we're running into great people at different times of our careers, and those people come and go sometimes, but when they come back together, you really are able to create something special. So let's flash forward a couple years, right?
When we finally get back together?
And so I think you're at Texas Lending at the time.
I'm at Texas Lending.
Yep.
Yeah, I was for 3 years.
Yep.
I was brought in there to kind of help create a little bit more of a corporate culture for them, and they fought it tooth and nail. But they had a model that worked, and I couldn't necessarily argue with it. But after about 3 years, I was a little burnt out.
Yeah.
And I texted you and I said, hey, you need an LO who has managing experience you don't have to worry about? And you were like, funny you should mention.
Well, and it wasn't that I needed an LO.
You needed
I needed another manager because we were growing, right?
Yes.
David, you remember this time, right? You you didn't know Barry yet. You were introduced to him when I brought him on as a manager. Now, of course, you were on the veteran team at that point in time, so you're like, I don't need to know this guy, right? But truthfully, it turned out he's a pretty good guy to know, right?
He's a great asset to the organization.
Yeah. Click and Close Mortgages brought a brand new product to market that will allow for you to save thousands of dollars on your next purchase or refinance transaction. Click below to learn more. Yeah. So because at the time before you came on, a lot of the questions were soundboarded off of me. And
you had a lot on your plate.
I transitioned out of that because we were growing, and there was a lot more to take on, and we needed somebody else that could soundboard. And so, where did those questions start to go to, David? Where'd you guys start soundboarding those questions?
Man, we went to Barry. You know, he's one of his many hats that he wears. Like we said, AE, account executive, sales manager. Talk you off the ledge and motivate you to that day.
That's right.
Underwriter, processor. You know, I tell people all the time. You know, the industry itself, or mortgage or financial services, wherever you want to say it. If you look at the manual or whatever they call it, the manual, you know what?
Right.
Unless you have a photographic memory, you're just there's scenarios for everything. And
there
guess
is.
what? That same manual changes every single year.
Every year, and sometimes multiple times a year, right? I was going to say we get mortgagee updates on the FHA, and we get updates from Fannie Mae and Freddie all the time. All the time.
All regs. In our industry, you know, we look at a manual called all regs. We look at our particular situation, and then we say it can be very confusing. It's easier sometimes just to come to someone and say, "Hey, what's this? Hey, you know, this is the answer to this." You know, someone with his experience, 26 years.
So let's talk about that, because you're right. It's the experience, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing. You've been in this for a long time, and Chris Garcia has been in this for a long time. But when you have somebody who's been in this for a long time on the management side of the table, right? They're seeing more scenarios than the standard loan officer, because he's not just looking at Chris and David's scenarios and Clint's scenarios, but he's looking at everybody that he's managed over the last 26 years, and he's seeing transactions on the daily, so that when you go, man, I haven't run into this one before, you can turn around and go, hey, Barry, I got a new situation I haven't seen before. Have you seen this? And most likely, you've seen it, right?
Most likely I have, but I'll be the first one to admit when I haven't. And the one thing I always say is, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to find it.
We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. And I think that's what's important, because I think a lot of the times lenders turn business away because they don't understand. But when you've got a great support system like that, to where you've got loan officers that have tons of experience that already know the majority of the answers, right? And then you've got great management that also has years of experience understanding the market and what's happening, what products are out there, but then also having the integrity to say, I don't know, but you know what? There's a way to figure this thing out. I'm going to figure it out, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's huge. So you came on with us. What year was it specifically? Do you remember?
2019.
Yeah, 2019. And here we are in 2023, right?
Yep.
And we've done some great things.
It'll be 4 years next month.
Yeah, we've done some great things. We really we built this thing up to some substantial production, especially during COVID. I mean, things were really off the charts, and I think that was off the charts for a lot of people. Record numbers across the board in the industry, right?
Yeah.
But when that changed, and the industry changed a little bit, we had to make some adjustments, right?
Oh yeah, we sure did.
Yeah,
There's a lot
small
of changes.
adjustments,
Small
just a little
adjustments.
bit. Were they
just a
little?
few.
Were they just little adjustments?
No, there were big adjustments. I think my favorite phrase is get comfortable with being uncomfortable because it changes every day.
You know, I think my favorite is get better, not bitter.
Oh, that's a great one
Yeah,
too.
get better,
Love
not
it.
bitter, right? You know, that's one of our fellow marketing animals mentors, Steve Kyles. But I think that's important because, you know, sometimes it's easy to just throw your hands up and say, you know, F this. I'm out the door. I'm not going to go through this. But when you go, hey, look, now I'm going to get better and I'm going to find a better way to do this. And we're going to get comfortable together, right?
Yep.
And figure this thing out. You can create an amazing way. And I think that's the big thing that we see with successful people. Successful people find a way to create success in any market, which is what we talk about on every show, right? We've had a big stint in this industry. We've had success across the board. There have been times where things have been a little slower or harder to manage, but it doesn't change the fact that what do?
We just change with it.
We change with it. We find a better way to do business, and we make sure that we still create great success.
Oh, yeah.
And those that follow,
Well, they're going to have great success.
they're going to
as well.
have great success too.
100%.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You know what I love about this whole thing is that, you know, we talk about, you know, our podcast is Real Estate Success Partner. You guys have, you know, tremendous success, 20 plus years in this industry, great successes, but you haven't had your greatest success yet.
That's right.
That's the one part that I'm looking forward to be part of.
All of us together.
The biggest accomplishment that you've ever had, you haven't even seen the biggest success yet.
And that's the best part, right? Every day just gets a little bit better, right?
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
opening a new present every morning. It's like Christmas all over again. Surprise!
Yeah. Well, you know, if you've been in this business, you know, everybody knows what's going on in the last year. You know, 50% of the loan officers are no longer here. 50% of the realtors are no longer here. Those who are left standing, we're questioning why we're even still here. But, you know, we had to pivot, you know.
I don't question why we're here. I know why we're still here.
I agree.
Because we will fight for success.
I
We
agree.
will do what it
Every day.
takes, legal, moral, and ethical, right, to get the job done. And if there's a way, we're going to find it. We're going to find it together, right?
Sure.
Together, you know. And I think that's what's so important about what we've got going on here is we're not just success partners, we're accountability partners. Right. We talked about the call stars on one of our podcasts recently. It's
my favorite part of the day.
It is, right? It's an accountability call because we all show up, right? And maybe that day, you know, I don't feel like being there. Maybe David, you're having a rough day and you don't feel like being there. Barry, you don't feel like being there. And then we jump on.
Yeah.
And we bring each other up to another level, right? And we get everybody excited about what we're doing that day, right? And then we mute our phones and we go to work and we're watching each other work and we're celebrating the wins. And I think one of the best things we did with Call Stars was create the sales club chat, right?
Yeah.
Because what's
I
happening the
love
whole
that.
time we're doing the Call Stars, you know?
Wins.
You know, hey, I just got a contract. Hey, I just got a great appointment. You know, hey, I just got a lead from one of my past customers, right? And we're cheering each other on. We're giving each other thumbs up and fires and bombs.
Yes.
And sometimes there's some F bombs.
Yeah, sometimes.
But we're creating success together. But most
We are.
importantly, we're holding each other accountable, and we're holding each other accountable on a much higher level than most people do. And I think that's how you create great success in any market is accountability, right?
Oh, yeah. And it all starts with that. You have to hold yourself accountable and the people around you. And if you're not there to help lift the people up, they're not going to be there to help lift you up. And that's the best part. What I love about Call Stars, especially as of late, is so many people are excited about it now. I log in 10 to 15 minutes early and there's one or two people there. So we just kind of vibe and have some fun with it. We'll play some music. We'll talk about some things. They hit me with scenario questions. We get ready and we queue it up at 9 o'clock. And, man, we have a great time.
Well, you know what that's like, man. You know, I mean, I played collegiate sports. You know, I played football, and man, before every game, what we do in the locker room, man, we blasted that music.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, we blasted that music. We got each other pumped up, right? You know, we were talking about what we were about to do out there on the field. And that's what you're talking about, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You're so excited to get the day started. You show up 15 minutes early, you blast the music, you're in the locker room, you're having that locker room chat just to make everybody excited about the day, right? And then that freaking mic turns on, and man, we're live, right?
Yes, we are.
Where's the jacket? I tried this twice. John. But you know, David, you get the pleasure of working with Barry. You know, talk about that, man.
Man, dude, you know, our team's very close. You know, it's not just a work family; it's a family. You know, we travel together, we eat, we break bread together. We talk about that all the time. We do a lot together. I spend I spend more time with my work family in any given day than I do my own family.
Yeah.
You know, I say any. Eyes open,
weekend.
right, eyes open, you know, or whatever. But you know, what do they say? You're the product of the 5 people you hang out the most of.
That's right.
You're the average. You know, if I can be the average of you guys, I think I'm winning.
Our odds are good.
Our odds are really good.
You're doing
our
all
odds,
right.
Our odds are really
odds
good.
are good.
So
Yeah.
you guys push me, I push you guys, and
And sometimes we push each other the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've
You know,
done that, for sure.
Every family members, there's disputes. There's always
Yeah.
disputes.
Yeah.
But you work it out. You work it out, and you figure it out, and then you move on. I mean, like I said, it's you know, a lot of people sit there and look at the industry and say, you know, why did it have to happen? Why did the feds have to do it?
Yeah.
I'm actually grateful they did that
too.
because it changed everything that I thought about the mortgage business. It changed everything what I thought about what success was or whatever.
Yeah.
It forced me or us to pivot in a way that I never dream the possibilities of what's in front of us right now.
Right.
I mean, like we talk about down, you know, we're not building tents, we're building castles.
Yeah.
We're laying down the foundations right now. We're barely, that castle's barely even built, but that foundation is strong
We got a
and
moat,
firm.
and we've got the base.
Yes,
Yeah, we've got
yes.
the base.
And as we
We're still
grow-
working on the towers.
And as successful as we've been in this business, our greatest success is not even here yet, and I can't wait to see that.
Well, you know, there's a term that somebody had mentioned, and I think I may have mentioned on the show before, but pushed into my comfort zone, and I think that's, man, it's such a wise statement, right? Because maybe it was our comfort zone the whole time. And we just didn't know it yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We just didn't know it yet. So, because truthfully, I think some of the conversations that we've had over the last year, as we've adapted to our new process and transitioned to what we're doing today, have been some of the best conversations we've had in our entire careers together, right? Some of the most motivating conversations about how we've grown in our personal lives as a result of all the things that we're doing, how we've created more disciplines for ourselves to help ourselves not just have success in the business, but success in our family life and our home life as well. And man, I think that's the special thing you're talking about, David. And the best part about it is, as you said, we haven't even gotten to the finish line yet. And I don't know that you're ever at the finish line, right? Maybe until you take your last breath. And I'm not looking forward to those days. But you know, at the end of the day, when we get there and have that celebration dance and be able to look back and go, look at this amazing thing that we created together as a team, man, that's amazing stuff, man. That's good stuff. And I mean, again, you mentioned it. We've already done some big things. We've closed more loans in this industry than I would say 90% of the companies out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely, especially during COVID. I mean, our numbers were massive, massive numbers, right? You know, so to have those types of wins and say we're going to best that, man, and we are.
Oh yeah.
And we are, man. That's amazing stuff. Right.
No, I mean, we're trending in the right direction now. That's for sure.
100%, man. 100%. So, well, Barry, brother, what would you say has been the pinnacle moment in your mortgage career? Right. The one thing that just stands out to you is, man, this is it, and I did this, right?
Yeah. Well, honestly, for me, it's something that a testimony that I've shared with my team or with our team on a few different occasions. One was making the decision to get out of where I was comfortable, which was at Texas Lending.
Push into your comfort zone.
And just go do, just get back out there and do it again. I wasn't sure if I still wanted to manage anymore, but I definitely partnered with the right people to do that. That made me kind of believe in myself to a degree again. I was a little burnt out.
Yeah.
And, because I stuck it out for as long as I did at that other organization, I was $100,000 in debt.
Yeah.
When I came over
I remember.
and I had a lot of money
We
to my name.
talked about that. Hey, do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I do. I remember.
Remember you said, hey man, what's the, I don't want to be too greedy, but I want to make sure that I can at least pay my debt. What did I tell you? Do you remember?
You told me not to worry about it at all.
I told you to give me the number that you needed.
Oh, yes.
To give me the number that you needed.
That part I remember.
Don't settle for less.
You encouraged me not to.
I want you to take what you need to be comfortable, because I wanted you to be able to come into the organization and bring your A game and not have to worry about your financial commitments. Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
No, man, it worked out great. And you're right. You said, don't worry about it. What do you need? That's exactly how it went down. And well, I was debt free in 13 months.
Yeah.
Debt free in 13 months. And that was hustling. That was on the phone, side by side with all of our originators on the floor, linking arms, helping them with their deals every day, and doing deals myself until we were doing enough business as a branch. And I was so busy with everyone else's activity, I could finally focus on them as a collective and as individuals.
And creating wealth, too, for maybe one of the first times in your career, right?
Oh, my gosh,
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
But together as a team.
The pinnacle was being $100,000 in debt and having $100,000 in my savings.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. I mean, it was a complete reversal.
Yeah. In 12 months.
In 12, 13
in 12
months.
Because you got to think about that. You're not just paying your debts. You're paying off your debts and accumulating savings at the same time.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So hitting some pretty astonishing things. It's almost like winning the lottery, right? Life-changing.
The relationships that we've built and the things that we've been able to do, not only for our work family, but for our clients, me, is the life-changing piece. Because we've put people in homes they never thought that they could get into. My favorite is when somebody calls us and they're like, the lender turned me down. It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on, wait a second. And they were buying a triplex, and they were told, FHA, they're going to occupy one side, and they were told that they couldn't do it and they couldn't use prospective rental income. And I said, I don't think that's true.
That's that 26 years of experience.
That's 26 years of experience. I said, it's not rented. They're all empty. You just need a rental market analysis report, and we can use that prospective rental income to offset the new mortgage.
And that's what we talk about, when we had Chris on the show, your business partner.
Oh, yeah.
Having the right loan officer is so important, because so many times, and we go back to the pro tips, guys, pro tip, having the right lending partner could be the difference between you qualifying or not qualifying.
Yep.
That's why it's so important to have an expert in your quarter and be working with the right people, right? Barry's got 26 years of experience. Chris, I believe, has 2 decades of experience.
Oh, yeah.
I've got over 2 decades of experience in this industry. And having that type of background, that knowledge, gives you a competitive advantage as a purchaser in knowing you can trust your lending partner. So huge thing, man. And you're right. But now what's happening is you're taking somebody who for a moment there said, I can't buy my home.
She was relocating. She said she couldn't buy her home, and I said, yes, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I made sure the loan officer told him, yes, you can. It absolutely, positively is something she could do. The numbers all worked out really well, and I know that's a deal that we're going to close.
Oh, 100%, man, 100%. And we close them fast, too.
Yes, we do.
We close them fast,
21 days or less.
21 days or less, and it's guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, or we
pay.
We do. Have we ever had to pay?
We've never had to pay.
We don't have to pay, right?
No, we
That's
don't.
because we promise what we deliver.
We do, yes.
Or we deliver what we promise. Good stuff, man. Well, Barry, you and I could talk all day. We've known each other for literally over, 2 decades.
This is our 20th year.
Yeah. Anniversary.
Yay!
But we do have to wrap these things up at some point in time. But I know there's got to be something that I didn't ask you that I probably should have.
If you were to ask me, would I change anything?
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing.
My man.
Wouldn't change a thing. For me, this has been one of the smartest things I've ever done, is teaming back up with you and meeting all of these great individuals that we have that work with us. And we've had people come in and their wings have spread out, and they've gone and done their own thing because of how hopefully we've mentored them in a way to be more successful.
That's right.
And that's okay. We can't hold on to these great LOs forever. Sometimes they got to go off and do their own thing.
They do.
It's like we say, look, there's a job out there for you. It may not be here anymore because
on-ramps and
you've
off-ramps.
outgrown it. But hey, I support whatever you want to do.
That's it, man. Well, dude, the feeling's mutual. You know, I feel the same way. You know, we spent several years doing our own thing. We came back at the right time. We bonded together. We linked arms, and here we are doing amazing things together. Brother, I'm glad to have you by my side.
Me too. I'm glad to be here.
David, how about you, brother? Anything you'd like to throw out there?
No, I'm looking forward to the years of success down the road. You know, like I said, every single day it's a new day, a new thing, and it's I open a Christmas present.
It is. Well, man, especially
day.
for you, brother. You guys have been killing it over there. You know, I know we don't always talk about production on here, but man, brother, you and Chris have been having some tremendous success over the last couple of months, and it's a pleasure watching you work, brother.
Well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, guys, if our people want to find Barry Palmquist, how are they going to find you? How are they going to hold of Barry?
They can call me directly, 214-261-3287. I'm in the office Monday through Friday.
And let's talk about that, guys. He's in the office to recruit if you're a loan officer looking for an opportunity and want to have some great leadership, but he's also available to do business. How many states you licensed in, Barry?
8 states right now.
8 states right now. So if you're in
Minnesota,
Texas,
Oklahoma, Louisiana, Florida, California, Tennessee, Georgia.
Thank you, Georgia. There you go. So if you're in any of those states and you want either great leadership, as a mentor and a manager, in actually 48 states there, or if you're looking for a home loan and you want to know that you're in good hands, capable hands, somebody that's been doing it for 26 years, contact Barry Palmquist. If you want to find David and I, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And you can find us at www.realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. You can also check us out on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all your listening platforms. We're going to be there. Or you want to see us live and in action, check us out on YouTube. We love those 5-star reviews, and we'd also love it if you subscribe. Until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.